These are not exaggerations. Each of these records has been measured under controlled conditions and independently verified. In each case, the animal's performance exceeds the best equivalent human technology at the same scale. Peregrine falcons, Falco peregrinus, reach 389 km per hour in a hunting stoop, the highest speed ever confirmed for any animal under its own power. This is not a passive free fall. The falcon actively steers, adjusts its tuck, and controls its approach at speeds where turbulence would disorient most flying animals. Nictitating membranes protect the eyes and redistribute airflow across the cornea. The nostrils contain bony baffles that slow incoming air pressure to prevent lung damage. At the moment of impact, force is absorbed through the falcon's body structure rather than its prey. Talons are angled to maximize transfer of momentum rather than grip. No aircraft at the same mass-to-speed ratio has matched this level of aerodynamic integration without engineering. Tiger beetles, Cicindela hudsoni and related species, are the fastest-running insects relative to body length on Earth. At 2.5 meters per second, a tiger beetle covers 120 body lengths per second, but runs so fast that its eyes cannot process images at that speed. The beetle effectively goes blind during sprints. It must stop, reacquire its prey visually, then sprint again. Researchers confirmed this by watching beetles overshoot stationary targets repeatedly during pursuit. The stop-start hunting strategy is not a flaw but a functional adaptation. The beetle outruns its prey during each sprint segment and recalibrates between bursts. Froghoppers, Philaenus spumarius, are 6 mm insects that accelerate at 4,000 meters per second squared during a jump, 414 times the force of gravity. Fighter pilots lose consciousness at approximately 9 g during turns. Froghoppers sustain 414 g for the duration of their jump stroke, which takes approximately 1 millisecond. The jump is powered not by muscle contraction but by a catapult mechanism. Two curved sections of cuticle in the thorax store elastic energy over several seconds before releasing it simultaneously. The mechanism is so efficient that froghoppers can jump 70 centimeters, over 100 times their body length, using less energy than an equivalent mechanical spring system. Paratarsotomus macropalpis, a Californian mite approximately 0.7 millimeters long, was confirmed in 2014 to run at 322 body lengths per second under natural conditions, the fastest movement relative to body size ever recorded for any animal. Scaled to a human frame, this is equivalent to running at 2,092 km per hour. The previous record holder was the South Californian coastal tiger beetle at 171 body lengths per second. What makes the mite's performance unusual is that it occurs at ambient temperature in a California summer. The mite is not thermally assisted or running downhill. The metabolic processes required to sustain this rate have not yet been fully characterized. Horned dung beetles, Onthophagus taurus, were tested in 2010 using a harness attached to a load-bearing apparatus and confirmed to carry 1,141 times their own body weight, a record for any animal ever tested for static load capacity. For context, if a 70-kilogram human matched this ratio, they would carry 79,870 kilograms, approximately the mass of a loaded M1 Abrams tank. The beetle was not simply supporting the load but actively pulling it across a surface. The feat is enabled by a combination of leg musculature optimized entirely for traction and a low center of gravity. The study was conducted as part of a broader investigation into dung beetle horn competition. The load-carrying ability turned out to be incidental to the research objective. Rüppell's griffon vultures, Gyps rüppelli, hold the confirmed altitude record for any bird. A specimen was struck by a commercial aircraft at 11,300 meters above the Ivory Coast in 1973, above the cruising altitude of most commercial jets, approximately 10,500 meters. At that altitude, oxygen levels are insufficient for any mammal to remain conscious without supplemental oxygen. The vulture's hemoglobin has a different molecular structure that allows it to extract oxygen from air at concentrations that would cause hypoxia in any other bird. The 1973 individual died in the collision but provided the first evidence that the species routinely reaches these altitudes during migration. Saharan silver ants, Cataglyphus bombacina, forage at midday in the Sahara Desert when surface temperatures reach 70 degrees Celsius, the hottest conditions in which any land animal has been observed actively moving. They emerge for windows of approximately 10 minutes per day during peak heat, when their main predator, the sand lizard, is forced underground. At surface temperatures that would kill most insects within seconds, the ants run at 855 millimeters per second, 108 body lengths per second, using a galloping gait in which all 6 legs leave the ground simultaneously. Their silver hairs reflect solar radiation and, uniquely, emit the ant's body heat as infrared radiation back into the environment, reducing heat absorption by approximately 10% compared to darker-haired desert ants. Frigatebirds, Fregata minor, hold the confirmed record for uninterrupted flight duration. A tagged individual tracked by GPS was confirmed in 2016 to have flown continuously for 74 days and 55,000 kilometers across the Indian Ocean without landing on water or land. During this flight, data from the tag confirmed that the bird slept in flight, using slow-wave sleep in both hemispheres and, briefly, REM sleep while riding thermals. The bird was not in any unusual physiological state. Frigatebirds cannot land on water. Their feathers are not waterproofed, so sustained flight between thermal systems is their normal operating mode. Their wingspan-to-body weight ratio is the highest of any bird, and they can soar for hours using less energy than a human burns at rest. 8 records. 8 animals performing at a level that human engineering has not replicated at equivalent scale, not because the engineering is unsophisticated, but because the biological solutions are. Tomorrow's animal survived something that killed nearly everything else on Earth. This channel posts a new animal fact video every day. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one.